Hello and welcome to Sports This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
I am Taya Salam. It's great to have you join us again.
And this morning we're starting with the teams that are through to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. Inter Milan, of course, Manchester United. It was no-brainer. Of course, they were
Yeah,
in
no
the pole
brainer,
position to
of
actually,
course.
qualify for the next stage. But then Lukaku wants the team to improve despite that win against Getafe 2-0. And of course, it was on scoring sheet. But for United, they had to struggle. They needed Anthony Martial to come off the bench for them to be able to win that game 2-1.
Yeah, congratulations to Manchester United and Inter Milan advancing into the quarterfinals of the UEFA Europa League. We're doing a comprehensive review of their games later today. Also on the show, still talking football, Nathan Ake is officially a Manchester City player as after sealing a £41 million move to the Etihad. Done deal for Nathan Ake.
I can't believe this guy actually cost this much.
That's what we're saying.
But then he has improved. And of course, if you check Manchester City, all their defenders, and what this guy brought to Dortmund is a whole different ball game entirely. And that's why Pep Guardiola had to shell out the money for him to solidify their defense. All right, also on the program, the Lakers, well, another loss for them, 2 now in the bubble. And of course, Chris Paul led the Thunder strike over the Lakers, contributing 21 points to lead the team 105 and 86. Yes, that's the scoreline over the team seeded #1 in the Western Conference.
Yeah, Thunder literally striking the LA Lakers, and the bubble was a thrashing, thumping, annihilation, however you want to pull it, however you want to put it for the OKC Thunder in the win over the LA Lakers. And the LA Lakers were just atrocious, especially on the offensive end in this game, and that contributed a great deal to the loss. That's what we're starting the show from, Cecilia.
Yeah.
You wouldn't really say it's an upset, but you don't expect the Lakers to go
How
and
will you
lose by
describe
this.
it if it's not an upset?
Yeah, I mean, it's not an upset. The OKC Thunder have been very decent.
Yes. We're looking at the scoreline,
there's the
105-86.
That is what
exactly.
is
So if you're
shocking
losing
about
to
it. It's the
OKC,
margin.
that's it. It's the margin
margin
that
of
matters.
the loss.
And the fact that
Yeah.
the offense was so bad, that's their lowest points and 3 points range in this season. Of course, just 5 of 37. I mean, behind the arc.
Not good,
so
not
that
good
wasn't
enough.
good at
Not
all.
good enough. Yeah, just confirm the results of the games that were played last night before we come back to the Lakers and OKC. OKC, like we said already, 105-86 in favor of the Thunder. Defending champions, Toronto Raptors, still going great guns, 109-99 over Orlando Magic, still unbeaten.
Yes.
This team is looking very, very good.
7th consecutive win.
They will be very dangerous. 7th win in a row for the Toronto Raptors, 49-18 this season.
Fred VanVleet leading it, 21 points and 10 assists.
Of course, that's our guy, Freddie. Yeah, I really call it. Yeah, decent game for him as well, 21 and 10 assists.
Pascal Siakam, 18.
Right.
Yeah, he's also added something there.
Yeah.
Serge Ibaka added 11. So, I mean, these guys just trying to, everybody more like
Cecilia,
the starting.
Cecilia,
Okay.
but we said it, I said it at the start of the season that they would have no problems whatsoever navigating their way in the Eastern Conference, even though they've lost Kawhi and Danny Green. They've done just that, so this isn't a surprise. And I'm going to start judging this Raptors side once the postseason starts.
7 players on double figures.
Yeah, they're a very good side. Nick Nurse is doing a fantastic job, and surely has to be a lockdown for the coach of the year. Elsewhere, the Brooklyn Nets, what a game, very high scoring against the Boston Celtics, ended 149-115 in favor of Boston. And Cecilia, what more can we say about the Nets? It's been a struggle.
Yeah, it's a struggle
for them. But they're still within a shout of making the playoffs. For Boston, it was Jaylen Brown leading the way with 21 points.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the Philadelphia 76ers taking on the Washington Wizards, 107-98 in favor of the 76ers. And it was Joel Embiid, even though he battled foul trouble late for much of the game, was still able to produce 30 points and 11 rebounds. So it's good to see the Cameroonian finally showing up in the bubble.
And for Washington Wizards, their 4th straight loss.
Yeah.
Winless.
Not a good
one, 19.
Still winless. Yes, that's
Despite
what it
you
is.
have a Thomas Bryant contributing 19 points effort, that just wasn't enough. He had completed double-double, 10 rebounds also for the Wizards, and in total he had 17 points. But then
not good enough.
Wizards,
Not
okay, we know they're now
We'll
completing
come back.
the numbers, yeah.
We'll
to
come
them
back
later,
to the
right?
Wizards
Okay.
later on. Let's go on to the Grizzlies and
the Jazz.
Utah Jazz, 124 to 115 in favor of Utah. And Joe Ingles led the way with 25 points. Mike Conley as well, 23 points to lift the Jazz to that very, very impressive victory. Last but not the least, 132 to 126 in favor of Denver over the San Antonio Spurs. Mike Porter Jr. was the star of the show in that game, 30 points. We'll talk more about him later on as well. But let's focus on this one, Cecilia. A very bad loss for the LA Lakers, and you said it at the start of the show. It was a very poor shooting night for them, but CP3, Chris Paul was the star for OKC. He added 21 points to go along with 7 rebounds and 6 assists to continue his excellent form in the NBA's restart. The veteran point guard is a veteran now, he's over 30, but he's still playing so well. 20.7 points and
3 games.
In 3 games. That's remarkable good for CP3. But for the Lakers, they didn't get too much production from King James. 19 points and 11 rebounds.
Yeah, double-double still.
Not good enough, not good enough. You expect King James to be putting up bigger numbers.
And Anthony Davis, what happened to him?
It was even worse. 3 of 11 from the field for just 9 points. And you can see why they lost. I mean, the 2 best players on the team
not produce on the
struggling. They're bound to lose that game. And Cecilia was a bad
team like Toronto Raptors happen to be a complete team in the sense, even when you don't really have, you can't really pinpoint and say this is the guy that's going to give you all the big numbers. That's why Fred scoring and everything, but you have all the players coming together just contributing. So there's depth in that one.
That's what makes them very dangerous.
A big team,
It's a team to really
so when
watch
you
out
have
for
LeBron and of course AD not playing so well, the others more like not living up to it.
Worst offensive game of the season as well.
It's bad, terrible.
It's season lows in points and 3-point percentage as well to 5 of 37. From 3-point range, that's 13.5%.
Ludicrous.
Very, very bad. Anyway, so Lakers, hopefully they can rebound. Of course, they're already the top seed in the Western Conference. So this is just a minor, hopefully it's a minor blip on their way to trying to win a record equal in NBA championship. All right, then let's go and talk about the Wizards now.
Yes.
Cecilia, the Wizards has been...
Their 4th loss here after that.
It's been a terrible season right from the
beginning.
A lot of injuries. No John Wall. Bradley Beal struggled with injuries as well too. And they've come to the bubble pretty much to make up the numbers. And but I would say that...
They'd rather not be here.
Yeah, they'd rather not be there, but unfortunately they were invited and they have to come and they had to come and play, and they're here. They're giving it their best, but their best is obviously not enough. And following that loss against the 76ers, the coach and some of the players, of course, have been reacting, and you can understand why it's a bit subdued in the camp. There you go, all right. Okay, let's just go straight to our top performers, just the 3 of them, starting with Joel Embiid from Cameroon, 30 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists. Up next is Michael Porter Jr. Remember this guy? After a rocky start, told his coach to stay with him. What has he done now? Back-to-back 30-point games.
Which is a good one.
Michael Porter Jr., a rookie, playing
rebounds.
like a veteran. Take a bow wherever you are. Last but not the least is the veteran himself, Chris Paul, 27, 7, and 6 on the night in the thrashing of the LA Lakers. Tonight, seeding games will continue, starting with the Pelicans taking on the Sacramento Kings. There's also Heat versus Bucks, Pacers, Suns, Clippers, Mavericks,
Lakers,
the Blazers
Rockets.
And the Nuggets, and Lakers versus the Rockets. Star match of the night, of course. That should be very explosive.
Nothing at stake, really, but then just pride.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the program. I will have Mudashiru Shitu right here in the studio. Good morning. It's good to have you join us.
It's good morning. It's good to be here as always. Good morning.
Yeah, great to have you. I mean, what has been happening? What's Basketball fan? Nah.
Yeah, no, top spot.
Yeah,
Fine.
really,
Top spot.
You know, let's go straight to boxing, this big one.
Okay,
That's the one
all right,
I'm
let's talk
actually,
about boxing.
wanting to talk about.
I wanted to
I
say
mean,
something
changes.
about the Lakers, but
Okay.
let's maybe
It's
some more.
fine.
The thunder striking.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. I mean, when the season just started and we were expecting so much of from them, understand? And it's very, very obvious that with the first games going on, they're potentially be in a better position to actually do so much of expectation. So I
Yeah.
think it's a very good one from the beginning of the start of the season. Always
Yes.
favourite when it comes to any game they play. So I think,
Well, they lost to
yeah, they lost. But
OKC
it's
Thunder.
the beginning of the season, and we hope that
The
we
restart.
could
Beginning
always
of the restart.
of the
It
restart.
was
Like
COVID
it.
that stopped
That stopped that. So it's the beginning of the restart for
Okay.
them.
All right then. Let's get on with the show now, and
Yeah.
let's talk boxing. And before we do that, first let's bring you, let's let you know how you can be a part of the program. You can always send your tweets to us at channels_sports. That's where whatever you want to talk about. If you want to talk about Manchester United, Inter Milan going through to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. Yeah, they're favorites. They're the joint favorites to win this competition altogether. Also, you can talk to us about the Lakers, basketball fans. The Lakers not doing so great in the bubble. Of course, they're number one seed in the West already, so maybe it's nothing to be worried about at all. You can talk to us on channels_sports. Send your tweets, and we'll be taking them before the show is over. And let's
Of course,
go
transfer.
transfer
Yeah.
as well to.
Maybe the players you want your
That's
club
why.
to actually
Exactly.
buy, to get.
The
because
time for transfer is coming when the big moves start happening.
Starts.
Yeah, but Nathan Ake, no disrespect him, he's a very decent player. Manchester City fans, are you happy with the move, with the signing of Nathan Ake? Is it going to improve your defense, or is it going to make it worse off? Well, definitely.
Okay, improvements. Now let's talk boxing.
Yeah, let's
Ify
talk
Ajagba,
boxing
I
now,
mean,
Ify Ajagba.
significant, promising career. I mean, a big move for him last night.
Massive move. Nigerian Olympian Ify Ajagba signing with Bob Arum's Top Rank boxing promotion. Signed a long-term promotional deal with Bob Arum. Everyone knows Bob Arum is arguably the biggest boxing promoter in the world. Has the likes of Tyson Fury and Manny Pacquiao, as clients. Now we have
also
Ify
changed
Ajagba, joining that particular rank as well. And you expect this move to go on and, just further project his career. He's already known a bit in some parts of the USA, but joining a big promoter like Bob Arum can only be positive.
Definitely positive. Nothing other defines his move or his career change than the positivity in it. Since he turned professional in 2017, he has decided to creep into the art of a lot of boxing followers, especially those in America. After he represented us in 2016, and we thought that was over, and we just saw him. And there was a time he fought a particular opponent that guy has to walk off without even showing.
He did not
It
wait
did, yeah,
to
it
fight
did not.
over
Yeah,
him.
it did not. And that thing went viral the whole world.
Yeah.
And beyond that, he also have done so many tour fights in December, and he came out victorious. So it might be the biggest thing that we're going to export to the world when it comes to boxing right now. And I think with his move, is only what we call career projection.
Yeah.
But we cannot just all be too positive when it comes to career projection. I hope that it all turns out well with the...
It's going to 13-0. I mean, that's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that 13-0, yeah, ridiculous.
11
But
knockouts.
what he just did is he's going to get a more tougher opponent with the platform he is right now.
He's going to have to step it up.
He has to going to
sooner
step
rather
it
than
up.
later.
So
Yeah.
it's going to be tougher for him, but he's ready for the task. Looking at 11 knocked out from 13, and that's almost like a record from a Nigerian fighter who came from National Stadium to the rest of the world. So I think
his
it's
story,
from the rest of the world, looking at the facilities that not up top notch to the rest of the world. I think this is our own typical story. This is who we should be talking about. I'm not saying we should be talking more of him than Anthony Joshua, but if you talk more of him than Anthony Joshua, it's expected, because this is someone we've seen. Yeah, this is someone we've seen at home here, struggling, trying to be there, and he's a projection for his career. So we could say with both hands, this is really ours, and I think we could only and wish him for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about, of course, Cecilia, you've talked about fighting tougher opponents. Now that's going to happen because you're on a bigger
Platform.
Your
We can
opponents
get
are
to
gonna
see
be
him
tougher.
pay-per-view, ESPN and all that.
As long as he keeps knocking out
Yeah.
his opponents, and then this is a good move for him. Bob Arum has been talking on the potential of Efe Ajagba, and that's some very interesting words. Efe Ajagba is one of the most gifted young heavyweights I have seen in quite some time. That's major
Yeah, he's got it.
endorsements right there. He has immense physical tools. We all know that already. And a great work ethic. That's very important in any professional sports. If you're talented and you're not a hard worker, you're not going anywhere. So it's good to know that Efe Ajagba has got great work ethic as well.
That was never in doubt.
That was never in doubt.
I have the utmost confidence that we are looking at a future world heavyweight champion. That's very instructive. This man who's been there, seen it all when it comes to boxing, from lightweight to heavyweight, says Efe Ajagba is a future world champion. That's a ringing endorsement.
that's a great
a
credit.
lot of pressure as well.
I mean, talking about his work ethics, I mean, where he was praying for the Olympics in Rio 2016, he was at the National Stadium. There was really practically nothing to train with. I remember the interview I did with him. He was injured. I mean, he was injured, and at that time, he was still training, despite that wrist injury he had at that time and all that. And, I mean, the condition was so bad that food was even a problem. So it's it's a story that when you just remember how this boy started, and right here is at the world stage. I mean, it's just all about resilience, and that's why when you mentioned that work ethics, I'm like, no, that has always been there from the very beginning.
Yeah, but you know, some boxers are
okay, when they arrive, traveling out of the country, everything is now better, so they kind of want to relax. But it's not that. That's why you had 13 and 11 KO, so that's really great.
That's great. And more importantly, which we are expecting to see new Efe Ajagba. That's what I'm looking forward to, because we know his flaws in defenses when it comes to the knocks out and all that. That's something he also needs to work out on. And we should not be thinking we are going to see the Efe Ajagba of before the signing, or the one we saw when he turned professional. He's going to... And you mentioned about world champion. You mentioned some heavyweight world champion.
Yeah, that's what
so
his
in the
future
future,
champion.
yeah, that's the future champion. And no doubt about us when it comes to boxing in the continent, outside. We know we have our own Anthony Joshua representing the continent and every other thing. So I think it's a good one. And it's not going to be out of place if you keep talking about Efe Ajagba all the time.
Of course, it's not going to be out of place. I'm talking about seeing a much improved Efe Ajagba. He's also changed his trainers from Ronnie Shields. He's now going to be trained by K. Kuruma. He's also changed managers as well. So it's significant changes for Efe Ajagba in his bid, in his quest to perhaps become world champion one of these days in the very near future. Efe Ajagba, 26-year-old, wish you all the best with this move on. He's going to be making his debut on ESPN later this year as well, so fighting on arguably the biggest TV network in the world. All right, let's go on to Europa League now and talk about
Manchester United. Yeah, Manchester United, that's the one we'll start with, Europa League. The results of what happened last night. Of course, you expected United to just be clinical and finish it off. But then it shows that they don't really have a second 11. That's what it shows, because Ole tried to, as usual, bring in some other players and all.
Some players that haven't played a lot.
He needed, those
to bring
top
his
big guns to be able to get result out of it. Copenhagen and Istanbul, it was 3-0, and this was all about one man. I mean, wind, blowing everyone away. Got 2 goals and also one assist.
Istanbul right back to Turkey.
Right back to Turkey. And Shakhtar and Wolfsburg, of course, it was 3-0.
5 on an aggregate for Shakhtar. Very convincing victory for Shakhtar. There's a dangerous side that you cannot, underestimate. And whoever gets them in the last stage have to be very careful. Inter, Getafe, 2-0. That was a one-off match, unfortunately, because of COVID-19. Romelu Lukaku scoring his 30th goal of the season in all competitions. And Christian Eriksen was also on target. And United 2-1 over LASK Lask from Austria, 7-1 on aggregate.
Jesse Lingard.
JC is back.
He's back.
2 goals
Yeah,
in
in
2
2
games.
games. Yeah.
JC is back. Is he back?
Yeah, definitely.
Is he back?
Yeah, we could say back because you're being almost judged all the time by your last performance.
Right.
So we are talking on the scorecard of the
I
last
think
performance.
also started. That
and I
was
think it's
expecting
a
a
good
goal
one.
from him, but these guys were like they prepared for war when they came to Old Trafford.
I mean,
they
after
didn't want
losing
to
5-0
so
away,
they just wanted
there's
some
pride
respectable,
to play for.
and they scored first.
Yeah.
So and they caged Igalo in a way that he just couldn't get his goal on it. But then Jesse Lingard, the guy behind, got equalized after
Equalised
they
on it.
went a goal down.
Anthony Marshall came off the bench to get the win for
Yeah,
United.
fantastic. Like we all know, it's a good one for Manchester United fans, and the fact that we hope that our own Odion Igalo could do much, but the fact that there was probably a change of tactics when you're focusing on Diago and the other guy just did the doubles, and I think that's the beauty of it.
So would you consider United one of the favourites for this competition?
Yeah.
Looking at the other teams that you still have, you have Inter, you have Sevilla, you have all these other
We have
teams.
Sevilla, yeah.
Shakhtar.
Sevilla, we know
Would
they've
you
got so
say-
much of records when it comes to, but you can't rule out Manchester United.
Okay.
Sometimes it's not just really about the players playing for them. It's about the club itself, the doggedness that the club can get out of nothing.
But the tradition plays
Yeah,
football.
do that, because nobody want to play Manchester United and think it's going to be a walk-off or going to play a playoff against Manchester United, regardless of it's the name, it's the brand they've built over the years. You understand? So that's why people still want to go there and still want to play for them, regardless of whether they not have the pick.
But if you watch that game they played against Lask,
Yeah,
you just know that, look, is this the United we're talking about? Well, the thing is that they got the
We hope
victory
there should be
7-1.
improvement in the next game.
In the next one, obviously, Copenhagen, that's their next opponent they'll be playing against. For Inter Milan, Lukaku is 30th goals this season. I mean,
Yeah,
I can't
for-
believe that.
Not bad
like-
for a player
That's
without
what
the
I'm
first
saying.
touch,
I mean,
right?
yeah, precisely. I mean, and the
30
coach of Getafe
goals.
actually said the
Things-
price of Lukaku cost the whole of Getafe's players. It doesn't really matter anyway. But they lost. I mean, you should take that and swallow it. But Lukaku, I mean, even when we heard from Conte talking about the fact that he needs to improve and everything,
Yeah,
I'm
of
like,
course.
this is a striker that's giving you 30 goals
Yeah,
this
but there's
season.
still room for improvement.
Yeah,
Still,
there
I
is
agree
still
with
room for
Conte. I
improvement.
agree
So he
totally.
can get as much as 40 goals in a season.
And then what's surprising that we followed his career. It was almost like an over for him after he left Manchester United. But I think the ideal place was just Inter Milan, and that's why he could do all those things. So Lukaku has really brought himself back to where there was a value, if I'm going to say, between his career. Lukaku going to Manchester United, very peak of his career. Lukaku getting to Manchester United so low. Lukaku going to Inter Milan and is already back on the peak of the summit of his career with the 30 goals. And good, you had somebody as in Manchester United, talking about Sanchez, 2 of them back, and Sanchez holding.
is actually young
yeah,
as well.
you
Don't
understand?
forget.
Yeah, and giving the assist. So to me,
I mean,
Lukaku.
just take a look at it. I'm
It's a
trying to look
United
at
reunion
That's what I'm looking
at
at.
Inter.
And, especially with Sanchez, permanent move right
Yeah,
now.
we'll talk
So the
about
3 of
that
them
in
are
a
going
bit.
to remain
Yeah,
like that. And
fantastic.
Ashley Young has been scoring.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like,
Fantastic.
at
They're
first,
good players,
he's a
yes,
good
to say.
player.
They're
Yeah,
all
I
good
think they
players.
just didn't fit into
Uh,
Ole's whatever.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right,
I don't want to go to the
let's
DNA aspect
let's
of it
leave Inter Milan and
talk
Manchester
about-
United now. Action will continue today.
Tonight, yeah.
Europa League, other teams trying to qualify for the last 8. Leverkusen will take on Rangers. Rangers, I'm hoping and rooting for them because of Joe Aribo,
Of course.
Sevilla, versus Roma. Sevilla are the perennial champions of the Europa League. They like this competition a lot. But against Roma, that's going to be very, very difficult. Roma will be missing Chris Smalling, was back at Old Trafford. Basel, Frankfurt, Wolves, and Olympiacos. All right, well, let's move on with the show now and let's go on to Manchester. Yeah, we're staying in Manchester, but this time the other side of the city, the blue side of the city, where Nathan Ake formally completed his move to Manchester City. And for £41 million, it's a record move or record fee for Bournemouth. They've never sold any player this expensive in their history. And the reaction some people are saying about this guy's not worth £41 million. That's what Cecilia is saying as well. But from watching Nathan, from when he was at Chelsea to Bournemouth, he's a very decent player. And he's the kind of player Pep Guardiola would like in his team. The kind of defender who's very good with the ball at his feet, very good with playing out from the back.
Yes, first of all, talking about whether he worth that fee.
Yeah.
If any player is going to Manchester City, they hike the price.
Of
That's
course,
it. We should all
okay.
know that because they've got the money.
Which is fair.
So, which is fair enough. So going to Manchester United City, you know they can afford the money. But talking about whether he could
What
fit
he's
in,
bringing in, yeah.
you understand? Fine, fantastic. A player most probably have forgotten. Let's not forget he started as a lone player of Chelsea.
Okay.
Of Chelsea, that's where they all started and went around the whole England. You understand?
Watford,
Watford and
Reading,
all that.
for
And
Bournemouth.
what was constant was his consistency over the time. I wouldn't even think he could end up in Manchester City. I never saw that coming.
Yeah.
No, no
Bournemouth
one did.
going on relegation, and he has a life to save, and he's coming to Manchester. So Guardiola must have seen something in him
Yeah,
that we
it's
are
true.
not
Yeah,
seeing.
yeah.
And I also know that he can also play from the back, apart from being
Left back, yeah.
A
left
solid
back, apart from
defender.
being a solid defender. I think it's a very good move for him. But the playing time is what I will not say. With what they've got right now in Manchester City, the playing time, whether he's going to have his own playing time, but time will view. But if it's a good buy, whoever is enjoying him is being himself. He is reaping the best of this. Bournemouth going to relegation. He's in a club everybody dreams of from
Yeah.
nowhere. I didn't hear any rumor about his move until it was finalized. So I think that's a very good deal for the guy that has done so well. And that reminds me of Al Salah started from loan. All these players that Chelsea actually loaned out. There was a time Chelsea had more than 40 players on loan throughout the whole top 5 leagues in the world. He was among those players. Our own Victor Moses was among. But we could like that. Some of these players, Victor Moses, Ake, Mohamed Salah, have really come back to prominence after going the merry-go-round of many leagues across the globe. That shows that that move of letting those guys go then in Chelsea was not the perfect move for them. My opinion, but I think it's a very good one for him to have signed for Manchester City.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, 11 goals this season for Bournemouth. I mean, as a defender, you definitely respect him. And of course, he played every game. I mean, he had
game,
more
yeah.
minutes, with Bournemouth than any of their players. So he's going to obviously bring in something
of course,
to City.
for him is a step up.
Yeah.
He's only 25 years old. That boy has got great experience already,
course,
about 9
yeah.
years in England. He's been to Feyenoord as well, too. So we'll see whether it's going to improve this City defense, which is not the best.
I think he will. Because you look at
fingers-
John Stones and these other
fingers
guys, the
crossed, there's
mistakes and
Laporte
everything.
and yeah, I mean, at
I
times
think his
they are
partnership with Laporte might just be the best.
Yeah, well, the problem with that is
yeah.
both of them, are left-footed defenders. So I don't know who's going to play on the right side of the central defense.
Leave that to Pep Guardiola.
Pep Guardiola.
He just have a whole
And
team.
to top holding on to his words, he said
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
nobody will judge Guardiola for what he has achieved. And I think that's a very good one. He's
Yeah.
relying his effort on Guardiola to improve.
Of course, Guardiola has a reputation for improving players. Let's see if he can improve Nathan Ake. Ake is the second player to sign for City
Yeah.
this summer, following
Ferran
Ferran
Torres.
Torres
I mean,
from
these guys
Valencia.
are just, getting 2 good players for about 70 million quid,
Yeah.
73 million quid.
It's not
It's not even up to, that's
bad.
63.
Not bad.
23 and 40.
Yeah, well, these guys are not the big stars in the
No,
market
but they've got
right now,
potentials.
so-
I
yeah,
think
they've got
when you
potential,
sell
yeah.
potentials for that price, you're actually doing a good buy.
Interesting. Okay, let's go on to a player
be buying
who's
120 million.
right. Let's quickly get this out of the way. Alexis
Alexis
Sanchez
Sanchez, yeah.
on loan at Inter Milan. Of course, reports have been on for a few days now that he won't be coming to Old Trafford, which is not a surprise to a lot of us. But it's now been confirmed by both Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Inter's boss,
CEO.
their CEO, that Sanchez will be
Giuseppe
making
Morata.
his move permanent at San Siro.
What's interesting about the permanent move is that it's not just a one-year permanent move. 3 years. I mean, so much faith in what he has done. He's holding the highest record assist this season for Inter Milan. His performance and his synergy with Lukaku has actually brought that. That's second on the table going to Champions League. And I think Conte won't have expected more better than that going forward. And I think it's a very, very good move. If anybody that knows football, nobody has ever doubted the ability of Sanchez.
Right.
Nobody.
But
Yeah, but I don't know
he's
the buts
lost
there.
a yard of pace. He doesn't have that burst of pace that he used to have when he was playing for Arsenal. And that's why this move to Italy perfectly suits him. A league which is not as fast as England.
Let's not also forget he started from Barcelona. He came to Arsenal. Consistency.
Udinese,
It was
went to Barca.
yeah, it was in Barca. And the only thing missing in his career, which was like a debt in his career, was the Manchester United season. Now he has gotten himself back into Inter. and he's going forward and putting himself back to where he belongs to. And to me, that's a very good level of consistency.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing any but in his career. I'm not seeing any but in his career.
But I think the boss was at Manchester United.
Okay.
All right, let's go on the break now. We'll come back, read some of your tweets, and also talk about more transfer. Yeah, welcome back. Before we talk about Arsenal, we'll just take just some tweets coming from our fans. Medupin Wale, I mean, he says, what the name? He says Barcelona should just qualify for semis and save us the heartache of another catastrophic crash. We're yet to recover from losing the league to Real Madrid. He went further to say that he hoped that disjointed Barcelona can actually focus on academy and allow Ansu Fati and co to express themselves, because it seems the experienced players are becoming too tired for Barcelona's intensity. Wale, okay, that's a good one. And Chinedu says he's so happy that United are through to the next round, and he also see them winning Europa League. Okay, I'll pause there.
Yeah,
Let's talk about Arsenal. We'll see if they can do that.
All
Now,
right,
Arsenal,
then.
for instance, I mean, 55 staff. They just want to let them
not
go.
good news
Not
for
good
those people involved. And this is all about COVID-19. Arsenal, a massive club who are heavily dependent on, making revenue from match day revenue. Put it that way. But no fans in the stadiums. In the stadium for how many months now? For 5-6 months. Also, no concerts. They make money from, renting out for concerts as well. So they've not been able to do all that. So COVID-19 has greatly impacted on the revenues, and as a result, they are asking 55 jobs, and I don't envy those guys that are involved.
Commercial, administrative
Football
departments,
as
and
well
majority
too.
of those.
Yeah, apart from the players, they're the only safe ones, really. But every other person stands the risk of, losing their jobs. It's not good news at all for these people.
Yeah, it's not good enough, but I'm smiling. I'm smiling because I'm not surprised. It's Arsenal. They have always lived on a tight budget and wages structure. So if there's anybody coming out to public say they're laying off 55, it has to be Arsenal. We know that they always have that tiny structure of wages and all that, so it's not surprised. But there's also a reaction from those involved. I think right now we know the impact of COVID-19 on everybody. But there's also reaction on the fact that how can you be laying 55 off when you have Ozil on 300 million pounds,
350
a week,
Yeah.
and we have
and
thinking
he's
of
not playing football.
yeah, it's not playing football.
Yeah,
you understand?
no fault of his, though.
It's no fault of his,
so
but
you got to be fair to Ozil.
yeah,
It's
but
not
but that's where the
Okay,
agitation
why not
comes
He's not
from.
agree
being
for a pay
selected.
cut?
But
That's
because
another issue.
Because,
Mikel is one of the
because-
players that didn't agree to a pay
Yeah.
cut when Arsenal players did.
Mikel
agree.
Arteta, for instance, 12.5%
All the
cut.
other
I mean,
players-
he has
all the
all
other
other
players
players
as well,
too.
too.
even the
fine,
coach,
and
so.
we're thinking of a Willian that earns almost 300,000 per week in if he's coming. So I'm saying.
Arsenal will not give William that money.
Yeah,
we all
so
know that.
we all know that. So I think it's understandable if the 55, but we need to be fair on both parties.
Yeah, you've
The
got to
55
be,
staff
yeah.
going
Yeah.
and Arsenal as a club, as an employer for those 55, but they've done everything to just pay off. So it's not only the 55 that is involved. We have other administrative cuts that they've taken off. We have other budgets that have been cut. So we just have to be happy with the whole situation. It's not really anybody's fault. Whether Arsenal is laying
It
55
is.
or they
But
have
your
to.
grouse is that some players should take a pay cut instead of you laying
the
off
players are taking pay
55.
cuts.
So it's only Ozil. Some have taken play, but it's only Ozil,
Ozil. Okay,
and
that's
some.
the only
Yes,
Ozil.
Ozil that is really saying he's not taking a play cut. And somebody
reports,
spoke in favor of Ozil that he has a mandatory money gives out to some charity, and that will probably
a lot of players do charity.
that will probably affect that if he does that. I mean, if he has a play cut, there's something that is suffering somewhere, a charity organization, and he doesn't want to be that. But nevertheless, nobody saw COVID-19 coming,
Yeah.
and I think it's all. And there are others that are going to come out subsequent time to say they're laying more than 55, but now it's Arsenal for now.
So more clubs to follow, right?
Yeah.
All right, then let's
Okay.
go to the papers, Cecilia, before we go.
Okay, Sporting Sun, that's from starting from this morning. And Napoli plans Osimhen and Chukwueze partnership.
Interesting.
That's interesting, yeah. Chukwueze,
Yeah.
will that happen?
Chukwueze, Napoli. Do you see that?
I
What
wonder
do you
who
make
said
of
that.
that?
I will never say because I've not seen any story relating to that. But I can't make
But
that
what do you
partnership.
see him
Yeah.
going to
If,
Napoli?
no, I'm not saying. But who saw Napoli Osimhen coming anyway?
Exactly.
Nobody actually saw that coming. But we know that the owners of the two clubs, like being reported, have relationship together. So we'll probably be looking at the possibility and all that. But fine, if it's going to happen, it's good for them. It's good for Nigerian profile.
Of
Okay,
course.
two of them. All right. Cristiano Ronaldo says Osimhen is a talented young man.
Yeah,
we already
obvious,
know that. Yeah, it's
obviously,
obvious.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, the good
Gonna
remarks.
draw shift attention to Onoma. This is another Nigerian player playing abroad that he wants to.
Oh, what's his name?
Onoma.
Onoma. Okay.
The
Yeah.
Fulham guy,
Yeah.
the Fulham really promoted.
Fulham.
Yeah, I
From
think
Fulham,
he used to
yeah.
be at Spurs or
Yeah.
something. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
interesting.
Another Nigerian.
But
Yeah.
when I get such, it might come to NFF stance on whether we're going to beg any player with dual nationality. I hope he doesn't have a
begging
dual
anyone.
nationality. The fact is that whether you have a dual nationality, nobody is going to beg you. Just
Bottom
and don't
line.
make us our second alternative. Make sure you take your decision from instant. If you're going for the foreign club, foreign country, let it be the foreign country, and nobody's going to beg you. Please come and play for us. But it's not new. We've got foreign talents across the globe. Foreign talents across
a
the
lot
globe.
of them.
A lot of them.
Okay, and you have Real Madrid drops Gareth Bale from 24-man
Gareth
squad in the
Bale,
Champions
Gareth
League.
Bale.
We all know that
What is
was
wrong
going to play.
with you?
The guy is comfortable playing golf and enjoying the sun in
What
Madrid.
is wrong with this
And
guy?
he's,
man?
and getting
It's-
his money.
It's just throwing away the rest of his career is just so
Does he need
annoying.
anything to prove again?
Well, but
We've seen the best of
jeez.
Gabriel.
I just think he's lazy and he's not ambitious because we've seen
Yeah, you see
players.
Ronaldo
But he was affected psychologically.
There are other players that we've seen that are really big in this.
I'm
you know,
even talking of
that won everything.
someone that's played with him, Ronaldo, and you can see Ronaldo at 34.
still hungry.
Still
I
hungry.
think we are trying to
35.
omit what caused this.
No, I mean,
Psychologically, he has been affected. There was a time
It
he was
is
shown
not.
he doesn't want they don't want him. So I think those
If
things
they
are
don't want you, what do you do?
He
Don't you,
should go.
can't you go somewhere else?
Do you
and
know
play
what his
football?
agent said? He said he's not ready to leave. He's going to see out his contract.
Don't you think that's
was what
consistent?
he-
Don't you
for
think
his
that's-
agents to have said that? He's not going anywhere. They'll keep paying him that money, and he's not playing
And he's
football.
comfortable
He's
with
comfortable
that,
with that. That's
which
the
is
problem.
very
Who's
So
really
which is
losing? I don't think
not
nobody's
good.
losing.
For a
I know
player,
nobody's
very
really
talented.
losing.
He doesn't care. I mean, he has won Champions League, he has won League title. I think he's okay with that.
Still not good
I think
enough.
I blame the national team anyway, because when he's not fit coming into the national team, how can he deliver?
All right, let's go to Sporting Life. Leaked clip shows Willian in Arsenal kits. Interesting, Arsenal fans. It looks like you'll be signing the Brazilian from Chelsea this summer. Ighalo plays for 90 minutes, couldn't get a goal. City's £300 million shopping list. Ferran Torres, Nathan Ake. Apparently, there's Koulibaly, João Felix as well there. Where do you see them making all the signings in this summer?
Yeah, it's fantastic. They've got
They make all the
yeah, they could.
No
They
chance.
can. I mean,
Because
it's got
this-
300 million quid to play
Wow.
with. And these guys won't cost that much. You already spent 63 out of it, so...
And for the very fact that it's very painful to lose to Liverpool this season, I tell you, I think
Yeah.
I feel that Guardiola fact that it's painful to
wants to
lose.
come back with
You
a-
understand? He wants to come back, and
it's
this
his defense that is really need to take care of.
Koulibaly and the rest. I think it's a very good one. They've got the money. Nobody will ever do that.
No.
Bringing such money, nobody was ever going to
This
spend.
period, and that's why United don't need 120 for just one player this COVID season. Don't do that.
Cristiano, yeah, Osuna is very talented. I've seen that already.
Yeah.
Last paper, Complete Sports. Ighalo faced to break 95-year-old United record. Arsenal in advanced talks with Coutinho. Man City complete £41 million. We're on air, Complete Sports. 5 talking points is Man City Madrid clash. That match is going to be on Friday. We'll do a comprehensive preview of it. The UEFA Champions League. Aribo targets 10th Rangers goal tonight. It's going to be against Leverkusen. Joe Aribo, fantastic player, has got a great upside, and I believe he's going to do great things for the Super Eagles, and he's going to get a big move as well too from Rangers very soon.
Joe
Aribo.
Yeah, Joe
Do
Aribo,
you rate him?
fantastic. Yeah.
You rate him?
Yeah, fantastic. I give him, for even the fact that we don't really look at the Rangers, fantastic. So I expect him to do well in the Europa games. Very good one.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mudashiru, for coming on the program today.
It's always my pleasure.
Appreciate your time with us.
thank
Have
you.
a great day. Thank you for watching as well. And try and join us tomorrow if you can. I am Tayo Salah.
I'm Cecilia Omogbe. Have a great day.